I just took this Tom. He's got about a 9-inch beard and he weighs probably a good 20 pounds. He's really heavy. It's a Rio Grande. That's what we have here in northwestern Oklahoma. I just finished this Colonial Fowler 2 weeks ago, and I shot it for the first time about a week ago. This is the first time I've hunted with it. This is actually the first turkey I've ever killed. I've called in a turkey for my son a few years back, but this is the first turkey I killed. And I called him in from about 500 yards, with the last 400 yards or so being across this barley field you see behind me, across the open area. Called it in with this wing bone turkey call that I made, and shot it with this Colonial Fowler that I just, as I said, just finished this gun about 2 weeks ago. The load was 100 grains of 2F Go-X powder, and I used the same measure to measure the number 4 shot that I shot him with. So the 100 grain measure of shot, I used grocery bag wads that just rolled up and pushed down the bore on top of the powder and then on top of the shot. So if I'm stuttering, it's because I'm very excited right now. My first turkey, nice heavy Tom. Like I say, he's got about a 9-inch beard on him, and again, first turkey ever, and first turkey with this Flintlock Fowler. It's a 62 caliber or 20 gauge. 20 gauge is the legal minimum in Oklahoma for turkeys, I believe. So, yep, that's it. Nice turkey, beautiful evening, and again, I called him in with my wing bone call over a good 500 yards. So I'm one excited mountain man tonight. Okay, it's been 2 days since I killed that turkey. I guess I'm supposed to say harvest. That's the politically correct term, but actually I shot it and killed it. Never been known to be politically correct. But I just wanted to take a couple of minutes and elaborate a little bit on the hunt and the gun and accoutrements that I used, as I know that the video that I took 2 evenings ago when I shot the turkey was not a very good video. I didn't show the turkey very well, and quite honestly, I was totally pumped. Totally. This not only was my first Flintlock turkey, this was my first turkey. And this is the first turkey that I've called in totally using a wing bone call that I made. And they work really well, in my opinion. The only other turkey I've ever called in was 14 years ago. I called one in for my son, who was 14 at the time. And he did harvest that turkey with his granddad's double-barrel 12 gauge, and that was thoroughly enjoyable. But this was my first turkey. So again, I was the adrenaline was flowing. I was pumped up, stuttering around, I'm sure, and I could have done a better job at showing you the turkey than I did. Also, it was in the evening, the sun was getting ready to set, and I still had to clean the bird. So anyway, having said all that, I wanted to take this opportunity to tell you a little bit about the hunt. I shot this turkey on the back corner of my place, which, to put that in perspective, I only have 5.5 acres out here. and I'm surrounded by fields, grain fields, usually wheat, but right now this field around me is in barley, which it's standing probably 8 or 9 inches tall. So it's a wide open space, and the turkey was gobbling on the creek, on Turkey Creek, probably in the neighborhood of 500 yards away. Once he crossed the fence onto my immediate neighbor's barley field, he was still around 400 yards away. And again, I called this turkey in across a bare field. I mean, like I say, the barley is only standing about 8 inches tall right now, and it was wide open. Now, I have to say that although I hunt completely primitive, using a flintlock, wing-bone turkey call, things like that, I have to confess that I did use one modern item in this turkey hunt, and that was I did have a hen decoy set up right at the edge of the field. However, that gobbler would not have been able to see that decoy due to the fact that she was down in a bit of a swale. He probably couldn't see that decoy at all until he was within 100 yards. So again, I'm totally amazed that I was able to call that turkey in for 400 or 500 yards. The adrenaline is starting to flow again just thinking about that turkey coming in. I did shoot the turkey at about 30 yards, and I shot it with this 20 gauge Flintlock English style colonial fowler that I just finished. I finished this gun about 2 weeks ago and shot it a few times a week ago. And so I'm not totally used to the gun, and I'm definitely a rifleman, not a shotgunner. So, boys, I'm tickled. Okay, my camera shut off on me, so I'm back. Now, as I was saying, I'm tickled to have shot that turkey with this gun. I'm tickled to have shot that turkey with any gun. It's really a nice turkey, and I'm sorry I didn't show him to you better 2 evenings ago. Now, I have boraxed the tail fan and the beard. He had a 9-inch beard, and he had a 1-inch spur, and I'll hang this up to dry, and it should be ready here in a month or two to mount it on a plaque. Hope you can see that really well. This was a really nice Rio Grande gobbler that I shot. As I said, I shot him with this 20 gauge Fowler. This is a parts kit that I built from Track of the Wolf, 20 gauge / 62 caliber. I was using a load of 100 grains of 2F powder, and I just used about a 3-inch square of brown paper bag that I just wad up, and I put the powder in and run this down the bore and tamp it for the over powder wad. And then I used the same 100 grain measure to measure the shot. I was shooting number 4 shot, and I put that measure full of shot down and used another brown paper bag wad as the over powder wad. On the Frontier, and again, as I've said before, I try to stay close to what they would have done on the Frontier. I wasn't using cardboard wads and felt wads, felt cushions, things like that. I was just using some wadding. On the Frontier, they probably would have used tow. a hunk of tow run down, or natural products. If you've watched my Northwest Trade Gun video, I used paper wasp nest, and that works really well. I've got some. I may shoot this gun here. I'll try and make a video shooting this gun here with shot here in the next 2 or 3 weeks and get that put up. And I'll probably use wasp nest for wadding at that time. This time I was using the paper wads, just wadded up and shoved down the bore. That's something that could have been used on the frontier more than likely, though they would have been using a more natural product such as, again, tow or a piece of wasp nest or whatever. So, again, I shot that turkey at about 30 yards using that 100 grain load of number 4s, and he went down like a sack of potatoes, other than he was kicking and flopping around, and I was so excited that I ran out there and was trying to grab him. I probably should have stepped on his legs to hold him down, but I was reaching down trying to grab him, and he did get me with his spurs. So I've got a bit of a memento there from this hunt on my arm as well. The other items I used, I made this shot pouch out of a soft piece of leather, and it has a deer antler spout and a walnut plug. Real simple to make, and that's full of number 4 shot. I'm able to pour shot straight into the powder measure out of this pouch, and it fits in my hunting pouch quite well. The knife I used to clean. Okay, that's the second time my camera's shut off on me. I'm going to have to do some troubleshooting there. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I used this little 4-inch knife. I made this knife out of a Green River beartooth blade. I used a hickory handle and copper rivets to make that, and after cleaning that turkey, it's still quite sharp. It does a really good job. I think it's a perfect size for doing an animal like that. You can do a deer with this knife very easily. It's a good size, and I have a rawhide sheath on my hunting pouch strap, and I just keep that knife right there. It's always available, handy, does a good job. My powder horn, it's a small horn. When you're hunting, you don't need a great big horn like you would if you were out on the frontier somewhere and might be out for days and weeks and months at a time. I did use the same powder. I primed straight out of my Okay, my disc was full, so I think I've got the problem rectified now. I'll finish up here and we'll get this video posted. I did use my hunting horn to prime with. It was no problem at all. The 2F powder ignited really well, and I had fast ignition, so I've got no complaints about that. I'm not sure I will even carry a priming horn of 4F powder anymore on any of my guns. If I have that good of ignition with the 2F powder in the rest of my guns that I did in this Fowler, that's no problem at all, and there would be no reason to carry a priming horn with me. That's about it. That was the equipment that I used, the gun that I used. I'm totally happy with everything. Definitely happy with the turkey that the good Lord allowed me to harvest or to kill. We're gonna smoke him this coming Saturday, so we'll have smoked wild turkey for supper come Saturday. if the rest of my hunts are ever as enjoyable as this one, I will be truly blessed. This was just an absolutely enjoyable hunt, and that I'm still excited about it. I'll get him. I'll get him mounted on the wall, and we'll make a video shooting this fowler and showing you how to load the shot, and then we'll get that video posted here hopefully in 2 or 3 weeks. And I just thank you all for watching this video, for allowing me to share this with you. It's really been a pleasure. So until next time, this is Turkey Creek. Keep your flint sharp and your priming dry.